Let us solve the exercise number 3 in the part B of the C# lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to design a Windows form application to order pizza in a restaurant. And they have given the sample form layout. So this is what we are supposed to create it. I'm going to go to my Visual Studio and I'm going to click on the file, and I will click on new, and I will select the project. I'm going to select the Windows Form application as my project. You can save your file at a proper location by selecting the location as well as giving the proper name to it. I won't do that thing. So we have the form with us. So let's go and let us look at the form design first. You notice that this form is quite large. So I'm going to go here to my form here, and you notice that there is this corner. If I move the mouse at this corner, it becomes two-headed arrow. So I'm going to click and drag it and make it slightly larger. So you can click and drag it and make it slightly larger so that you can accommodate all the content there. Then let us look at what are the things that are required. So this part is the picture box. So I'm going to go to my toolbox by clicking over here. If it is not visible, you can go to view and then search for the toolbox. So in any case, you have the toolbox with you. And I'm going to search for the picture box. So I'm going to say picture, and you'll notice that the picture box is available over here. You can click and drag it onto the form, and once it is there in the form, you can go to this picture box here. You see that it is a four-headed arrow. So the mouse, when it becomes four-headed arrow, click and drag it, and go to the diagonal again, and I'm going to drag and make it slightly larger. So this will be my image. Again, you can click and keep it at a proper location, and you can make it proper later. Let us look at the next part. Next part, what you see over here is this group box over here. So I'm going to create a group box for this one. So let's go ahead to the toolbox, and in the toolbox, I'm going to search for the word group. So I'm going to say group, and you notice that there is this group box available. Click and drag it down, and you have this group box with you. And in this group box, you see this four-headed arrow. If you see this one, just keep the mouse pointer on here and just drag it, and you will notice that it moves to the location. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to make it slightly larger. You notice that if you look at here, there is it is quite large here, and you notice the name that is given over here is pizza size something has been given, and you notice that this is definitely contains the this text. What you see over here is actually increased to make it slightly appear larger. We will look at that thing slightly later. So let's go, and we need one more the one more group box here. The easiest way to do that thing is rather than going to the toolbox and then dragging it down, easiest way is click on this one, okay, and hold the control button. Don't leave the control button, and you are supposed to move it now. Hold the control button, click on it, drag it to the other side. So just go here, hold the control button, drag and leave it to the other side. Leave the mouse button first, then the control button, and you notice that your group has been created. So this is the easiest way. The toughest way is to go to the toolbox and drag it to the other side. I feel that this is much easier because it saves a lot of time in going here and there. Now let us fill the content here, and all these things what you notice here are radio buttons. So we are going to get the radio buttons from the toolbox. I'm going to go to the toolbox again, and I'm going to search for the radio button. So I will say radio button, and you notice when I type RAD, radio button has appeared. You can drag it and then leave it onto this particular location. Just drag and leave it at this location. Now, again, you need three such radio buttons. See, the toughest way is to go to the toolbox and again dragging and leaving it over here. The easiest way is once you get the control, So this is your radio control, radio button control. Click on it. You see a border across it. You can see the border across it. Hold the control. Don't leave the control button. Click and drag it down. Leave the mouse button first and then the control. Again, you can do it. Click, hold the control button, drag it down, leave the mouse button first, followed by the control, and you have the three radio buttons being created for you. Next, what you have in the form is you have this four check boxes. So let's get this four check boxes. As usual, I'll go to the toolbox here and I'm going to search for the check boxes. So I'm going to just say CHM and you got the checkbox with you. So you can click and drag the checkbox and leave it here. So you have the first checkbox. So click and drag the checkbox. Then you need three more such thing. The toughest way is to go again and drag it. The easiest way is click on the checkbox. Remember, click on the checkbox. Checkbox has the order across it. Hold the control button, click and drag down. Leave the mouse button first, followed by the control button. Again, click on it, hold the control button, click and drag down, leave the mouse button and then the control button. Again, click on this one, hold the control, click and drag down, leave the mouse button first and then the control. So you have these many things created for you. Let us try to fill the content here. So the first one, what they say here is the pizza size, and the pizza size is small, medium, and large. So let me go and let me do that thing. So I'm going to go here, and I will click on the group box on this one. Right click and go to the properties. So you can see the properties. Now I'm going to fix this property not by closing here, but by clicking on this pin here. So I'm going to pin it so that it's going to pin onto the side so that it is easier for me to change it. So I'm in the group box 1. You notice I'm in the group box 1. You can see the text of this group box 1. So I'm going to say this one as what they have given here. That is the pizza size. So I'm going to say this is pizza size. Let me go here and I'm going to say this is pizza size. So I will say pizza size. So this is what they have written there, pizza size. And it is small, medium, large. So how do you do that thing? So you can click on this radio button and then you see this is the radio button 1. So this is the radio button 1. I'll go to the text property of this radio button. So this radio button 1 and I'm going to say this is small. I will delete and just type it small. Get done. And then again you can click on the radio button 2 and you can make the second radio button that is you can say this is medium and next one is going to be large. So you can click on it and then make it as large. So it is done. So you have small, medium, large being created for you. Let us look at this second group box, and in the second group box they have toppings and extra cheese, olives, onion and mushrooms. So let's go to the group box here. So I'm going to click on this group box. So I click on this group box and you see if you are not getting it, right click and go to the properties. So this is the other way around, but I've already pinned it so I can easily get it. So I am going to go to the group box 2. You can notice it is the group box 2 and I will change this one as toppings. So done. Let me click on the first checkbox and this is extra cheese, I suppose, extra cheese. So let's type that thing. So this is going to be extra cheese. I will say extra cheese. Done. I'm going to click on the next checkbox and the next checkbox says that it is olives. So let me type the text for the next text box, that is the text box number 2, olives. Done. Then let me click on the next one. Next is olives and onions and mushrooms. Okay, I'm going to go with the thing over here. So this one is onions, and the next one is mushrooms. Okay, done there. So you have done up to here. So mushrooms, mushroom, onion. I think these are the singular. They just singular, not plural. Okay, then mushroom is also singular. So just spelling correction. That is what I'm doing. Okay, so let's look at the next part. Next part happens to be a label here. So this part is this what you see over here is label followed by the numeric up and down. Okay, so let's look at that one. So let's look at this is a spin button that you have it over here. So let me first drag the label. I'm going to go to the toolbox here. I will click on the toolbox, and again, if you want, you can pin this toolbox so that you can see them every now and then instead of clicking here and then. So remember, this is to pin it, this is to unpin it. So you can pin it, don't close it, pin it. So and do that. Now I want a label, so I will type this label, and I'm going to drag this label and just leave it here. So I will drag this label and just leave it here. This will be followed by a spinner. So this is followed by a spin button. So let's go here, and this is numerical. So let's search for that numeric up and down. So numeric up down. So this is the control that we're going to use it. Click and drag it in front of it. So you have numeric up and down. So being created for you. Done. And let's look at the label here. What is the label that they have given? The label, they are calling it as quantity. So let me call it as a label. I have clicked on this label, and you can right click and go to this properties. If you have already pinned the property, it is this label one, and I'm going to call the text of it as quantity. So this is the quantity. Done. And next, what we have here is three buttons are there. So let me get the three buttons. So I'm going to go to the toolbox. If you have pinned it, this is it. Otherwise, just go and get the toolbox. And in the toolbox, I'm searching for the button. If you just type button, and you are going to get it. Drag this button. So you have one button. I need three buttons. Again, you can drag it, drag it, drag it. The easiest way is once you have one button, click on it, hold the control, drag it down, leave the mouse button and then the control. Again, click on it, hold the control, drag down, leave the mouse button, then the control. So you have three buttons over here. Let us look at what is written in those three buttons. So what is written here is they have order that is been written there. So let me click on the first button, and I will go to the properties. You can right click and go to the properties. If you have already pinned the property, this is the button number one. And what they have said here for the text of this button one. So for this button one, the text, what is written there is order. So this is what they have written there, order. Then what you have is another pizza. So let me click on the second button here. And if you right click and go to the properties of this second button, and I have a very lengthy string here, another pizza variety. So let me go here and let me write that whole thing. So another pizza variety. Done. Another pizza variety. Let's go to the next one. If it is not visible, okay, we'll slightly make it larger. I will come back to the that part later. So let me first fix all the pieces over here. Then what we have is clear. Next button is clear. So let me click on this button. Right click and go to its property. If its property is already there, go to the this one and then say clear. Done. So three buttons are done. Then what we have here is a label. So let me get one more label here. So I'm going to go and go to the toolbox, and under this the toolbox, just go to the toolbox, and under the toolbox type a label, and you get this label here. Just click and drag this label, and you have the label here. Okay, so label will not change. Just keep the label here. Like I'm going to just slightly move it down. The next thing that what you see over here, even though it appears like a label, it's not a label, it's a rich text box, because we need to have a scroll bar for that. If you put a label, it is not possible to get a scroll bar for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a rich text box. So if you just click here, you get this rich text box. You notice that that's a rich text box. Click on that rich text box and then drag it down. You have this rich text box with you. Just keep it as it is. You can drag and leave it. Yeah. So these many things are being done. Now, what we need to do here is we need to change them. If you notice that there, all of them are actually made bold. This entire thing is made bold. So how do you do it in one shot? Okay. So you have this thing. Now, see to it that on your toolbox, you select this pointer, not any other component. Just click on the pointer. So you have it here. Now click here and drag diagonally so that you see you get the entire items getting selected. So let me do it here in a zoomed view. I'm going to do it. So what you're doing is click here and drag it. Don't click on the pizza or anything. Click on the blank area here. Don't click on any of the components. Click on the blank area. Click and just drag it. You see a rectangle that is getting created. Drag it and see to it that all the items are selected. So drag and leave it. You notice that all the items are selected. So let me do it one more time. Don't click on any of the control. Click outside, drag and just go to the extreme corner. So you get all the items getting selected. Now you already have the properties. It is that otherwise click on the properties. Now we need to set the font for that. So just click on this font. And I'm going to click on the font here. You notice that only the common properties will be shown. So font, I'm going to make it as 10, and I will make it as bold because they said that it is bold there. So I'm going to just make it as bold. So in one shot, all have become bold. Done. And in the there is one other extra thing that you need to do here. So these two, if you notice this and this, their size is slightly larger. Okay? So as compared to the other. So I will make their size, these two size as 12. Now you need to do it individually because if you select this one and change it, everything will change. So I will make this pizza, I'm going to click on this pizza size, and I will make the size of it as 12. Get done. So you notice it's slightly larger. Click on this one and the font size, you notice that the font size is still there. If it is not there, just click on this plus sign and you notice it becomes minus and you have the size. I'm going to just make it as 12. I will not waste my time in making it still beautiful. So this is what you have it here. I'm going to just click on this box and just make it as 12. Done. If you find that all of them, all these three pieces, all of them are also becoming 12 or this is becoming 12, it's okay because it's not going to make any difference. If you want to individual, if you want to change it, again the idea is same. Okay? Click and select these items. Okay? How do you select it? See, the idea is you click on them, click outside, don't click on any of them. So click on them and create a box around it. So can you see it here? And then make the size as 10. Go to the font and then make the size as 10. So they become smaller. Again, click outside, drag it. You can start from here also, but it is a bit difficult. So click outside. So blank area, click here and then make a rectangle. You select all of them. You see all of them are selected. And then go to the properties under the font size, make it as 10. So that is easier, just press enter and it's all done. So you notice that the pizza size and the toppings are being done. Now, small adjustment. Don't waste too much of time in that adjustment and other things. Just I'm just making it appear a bit appealing. So just slightly I'm getting it here, and slightly I'm going to get this one also here. Increase the size of it, and quantity. Click on it and then get it over here. This one you can get it here, and if you want, you go to this. You can see this boxes here, the white color box there. Click on it and then decrease the size of it. Get the order here, and let's say just keep it here. And if you look at the picture over here, how they have done it, the order will start roughly at the quantity. If you notice here, it roughly starts here at this particular point. After y, it will slightly go outside. So just go here and just do it. So after y and here, and I'm going to take it here. You see, look at the thing over here. If you click on this arrow, you can increase the size. If you click on this arrow, you can increase the width of it. So you can do it like this. Next control, I'm going to just get it here, and I'm going to drag it so that it shows to this end. You see that when it touches this box, you see a white marker, the blue color marker, indicating it has touched the corner, and I'm going to slightly increase its size. Similarly, I'm going to do it for the clear also. So clear, and I'm going to just drag it down. Okay. So hopefully I've done that thing. Let's see how they have done it. So clear, and the three buttons were there, clear, pizza, and the three buttons. Okay, so three buttons are being created for you. So you have three buttons. However, you notice that the this part over here, even though it is a rich text box, it is coming like the ordinary label. How do you do that? You have to change the properties of this rich text box. Now, I'm going to just click on this label here, and I want to see what is the background color of this label. So if you click on this label, just look at this label, and you see this property of this label here. Okay, and if you look at the background color, I'm going just to remove this font here. Background color, you see back color for this label. Back color is control. You notice that back color is control. If you click on down arrow, you may get many things. Back color is control. So the same thing I'm going to do it. I'm going to click on this one, rich text box, and I will change its back color. So you have this back color. Where is the color here? So font for color. Okay, so somewhere you must get the color here. Did I click on it? Okay, so search for the back color. So where is the color? Okay, we didn't get to the color there. So where is the color option? Let's see whether you get some option there. Hmm, I can't get any color there. Okay, only four color is there. Okay, back color. Somehow after searching long, I am able to. That's a back color. So this back color, you notice that back color. I will make it as control. Type C here, and it will come near to the control. Control. You notice that it has come. However, you see a border here. Can you see that a border? So I'm going to remove that border. So let's go here, and then again search for border. Can you see this border style? Can you see that the border is there? Can you see? Just click outside. You see that there is a border. So I don't want that border. So I'm going to go to the rich text box. I've clicked on this rich text box, and I will go to this rich text box, and I'm going to set the border ABCD border style none. I'll make it as border style none. So back color control, border style none. Once I've done it, if I click outside, you notice things are proper. If you want, you can slightly increase the size and slightly get it here. Okay, somewhere you have this piece of being shown to you. Okay, here and there. Okay, done. So this is the form that you have done. So now let us look at what are the things that must. Now, when the form is loaded, I want the small to be selected first. So I'm going to go to this small here. You can select any one of them. Okay, I'm going to go to this small, and you have this checked option. Somewhere you will have to search for the checked. You notice that checked option of the radio button one. I'm going to make it as true. I want it to be checked at the beginning stage. So checked is true. So this is the form that I have created. Just run and see whether you have the things ready with you. So this is how you have the form with you. Now it is the time to make all the other things. Now first let us get the image here. So let's get this images. What you need to do is search for the images in the Google and of the pizza according to the things that they have given, like extra cheese. You search for that. Okay, if you don't search it, in any case, get 16 images. You don't have to give the name like 1, 2, 3, 4 other thing. You give any name, but you need 16. So why I have given the numbers over here is just to tell you that you need 16 images. Okay, so get this 16 images somewhere in D drive, E drive, anywhere. I have downloaded them from the net. So I blindly downloaded them without the cheese and other things. So get the 16 related images of the pizza. That is done. Now let's go to the control, the Visual Studio now. I'm going to go to the toolbox again. Okay. I will go to the toolbox again and I'm going to search for the image list. You can just type IM and you get this image list. I'm going to click on this image list. Remember, image list is a control which is not shown on the form. So if you drag it, I'm going to just drag it. You see what is going to happen. When I drag and leave it, it won't come there, but it will come at the bottom side, saying that this is a part of the form, but it has no visual appearance. So it will not come on the form, saying that I am not going to be shown on the form, but I am required for something. So this is what is the meaning of the saying image list. So you just dragged this image list from here. Remember, it is also a control. So let me right click on this image here and let's go to the properties of that. So when you go to these properties, you see that there are the images are there, image size is there, you can make the thing. So you can do it from here also. The option is same. You can click here and then do it. Easiest option. So this is also same. You click on this, you get the same thing. You change the values, it is also same thing. Other option is you see a quick menu over here. So you click on this quick menu, you get the menus here. Okay? Instead of going there, you can quickly get the thing over here. So one in the same, doing it here or going to the properties and then changing it, it is one in the same. So you can change the depth color here also. Here also it is the same. Let me go to this one and I'm going to go and I'm going to make it as 250 comma 250. Okay. I have just typed it. I don't know where it went. 250 comma 250. So this is image size is 250 comma 250. Depth I'm going to select as 32-bit. 250 250. If you want, make it as 200 200. Anything depending upon the size that you have. Okay. I will take it as 250 250 or 200 200 or 100 100, whatever you want. But not a very small, like 16 15 pixel. It won't show up as an image. So 250 cross 250, and the depth is 32-bit. So I clicked here and selected 32-bit as my depth. I'm going to click on the choose image. Remember, this is same as going here and clicking on this collection and clicking on this ellipsis. They both are same. So I started from here. So I'm going to go here, choose images. And when you choose image, whether you do it from here, remember all these options are same, whether you click on choose images here or whether you go to the images collection and then click on choose image, you're going to come to the same place. Now click on the add here. When you click on the add, go to the location where you have the pizza images. So I have copied all my pizza images at this location, download under pizza, and I went to the straight away. I went to that location, search it, go to D drive, C drive, anywhere you have that 16 images, select them, Control A to select everything, Control and press A, Control A to select everything. So it is easy, and then open. So what did I do here is I have pressed Ctrl plus A to select all, and then I'm going to click on open. All the images will come in some order, whatever order it is for the examination. Don't bother about it. The images must be seen. That's it. Click OK, and nothing is going to appear here because you are not connected. Okay, so initially I want one image to be shown. So how do I do that thing? When the form loads, I want one image to be shown there. So how can I do that particular thing? Okay. So the way in which you can do it is you can just go to the form load event. How can I go to the form load event? Remember, this is the picture box. So I want to show the image in this picture box. So when the form loads, I want that one image from this image list to be shown here. So how do I do it? Go to this form, anywhere in this form, just click on this form first, and then double click on this form. Click and double click on this form. You get see these form load event. Can you see this form load event? So you see this form load event. And in this form load event, remember I have this picture box with me. Picture box one dot image. Okay, press enter, equal to I have this image list. Remember what is this image list? Image list is the one that I am having the list of images here. Image list, and image list, you know very well, contains lot of images. Okay, and I will load the first images. Remember it is an array, so you just have the first element of the array, that is index 0. So just load that image. Okay, let us give it a try and let's see how it's going to look like. So when you run it, you notice your image is being shown here. Somewhere your images are getting shown here. If you want, you increase the size, do whatever you want, you can do it. And the small is by default selected. You can select anything, nothing is going to happen, but you have your form being shown there. So let me close it. From now onwards, I may not need the toolbox, so I will remove this toolbox. Don't close the toolbox, remove this pin from the toolbox. It will go to auto hide. Similarly, don't click on the X mark here, remove this pin here. It just goes and you have enough space. Now let us start doing one thing at a time. So what is the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write a few functions that are required for me to do the calculation. Otherwise, it is going to become a difficult challenge for me. One is I must get this information. The first thing that I want to do is I want to get this information, only this information without that number. So I want this small sized pizza with the topping or something like that without the quantity. I don't want the quantity to appear, but I want this part. This I will take it as a key. Okay. So I will take that part as the key and I'm going to store that thing. So I just want this one. So how do you get this one? It depends on this text, depends on what is selected here and what is selected here. So it depends on these two values, and definitely the other part depends on what is selected here. So that is a different thing. I'm not interested in that. So let us start with the first one. So I'm going to call this one as order detail. So this is my order detail. So I get this order detail. So I'm going to write a function here. Let me go and let me write a function. Remember, you must be inside this partial class. Don't write outside this partial class. So click here and enter. You are inside this partial class. So see to it that you are inside here, not outside here. So you are inside this one partial class. Let me create a private method. So this private method will return a string. So what is this string that I am talking about? So this is going to give me this. Where is it gone? It's going to give me this string. This string it's going to generate. So that is why I'm saying that this will return a string to me, and I'm going to call this one as get. Remove the mouse pointer, order details. You can make it as small, but the is done. Okay, let me create this function. Remember, it's going to say that it will give you a syntax error because I said I'm returning something, so it expects me to return something. Let me complete it first. So how do I know which one is selected, which one is not selected? So let's look at this one. Let's break this one. There are two parts in this text that is being shown here. One is the size, which is getting selected from here. Okay. Other one is the toppings, which is getting selected from here. So there are two pieces are there. So two pieces are coming. One is the size. Size can be small. Size can be medium. Size can be large. Okay, so you can have a small sized pizza, large sized pizza, and medium sized pizza, and the toppings can be anything. So let's start with the first part now. The first part is the size of it. So let me create one variable here, and I'm going to call that variable as string. I will call it as a size. Initially, it will be blank here because there won't be anything in that. So I have the size with me. How do I say that which part is selected? Remember, if the first checkbox, this is the radio button, sorry. If the first radio button is checked, then it is the small. If the second one is checked, it is medium, and so on and so forth. So in other words, so let me just okay, it is already there. Let me just run it and just show you what I mean by saying that. So there is okay. There is definitely a error because I have to return something. So let me just say return something because that this function expects me to return something, so I can't run it without that. Let me just run it and let me tell you what is it. So the size depends on which button is selected. If the first checkbox, that is the radio button, is selected, then it is small size. If the second one is selected, it is the medium size. If the third one is checked, it is the large size. So I have to check whether the first radio button is checked, whether the second radio button is checked, or whether the third radio button is checked. So how do I do that? So I'm going to say go over here, and I'm going to say if radio button 1, you notice that it has come, radio button 1 is checked. So you notice that if it is checked, then the size is then the size is I can say this is a small sized pizza. Okay, this is small sized pizza. If the small is selected, if this is selected, if this part is checked, if this part is checked, then this is. If the second one is checked, it is the medium size. Third one is checked, it is something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not write this one again. I'm going to select this one, Control C to copy, and I will go down and paste it once and again paste it twice. If the second checkbox is clicked, so if the second checkbox is clicked, then it is a medium sized pizza. If the third checkbox is clicked, then it is a large sized pizza. So you got the small sized pizza, you got the large sized pizza, and you got the medium sized pizza. So that part is done. Now let us look at what will happen if you select this one. If this checkbox is selected, then it is extra pizza. If this one is selected, it is olive, this is onion, and this is mushroom. Now, one thing you must notice that when it comes to the radio buttons, only one of them can be selected. You can't have both of them. One can be selected. Whereas here, there is a variety. Suppose if I select two, that means to say that extra cheese is there, then olive is there. If I select the next one, extra cheese, olive, and onion. Here that option is not there. So that means to say that if I select the second one, that means extra cheese and this has to be there and this has to be there. So whenever I select, when I increase my selection, additional thing has to be there. Previous one plus this one, previous one plus this one. So this is how it should be done. So let's go ahead and let's create one more string variable for that. So I'm going to say string, and I'm going to call this one as topics. Okay, initialize it with null. This is string, okay, null. So as usual, if checkbox 1.1 is checked, then what is that I am supposed to do? Then toppings, toppings is equal to, remember how do I write, is equal to toppings plus something, plus what is this one, extra cheese. So this one is extra cheese, toppings plus you can say it as extra cheese. Okay. So instead of writing it like this, making it a very lengthier one, you know very well you have compound assignment. How do you write it? Compound assignment plus equal. So instead of writing topping is equal to topping plus that, you can always go for the compound assignment. Now one thing you must notice that these are listed here. So this one, then you may get extra cheese, comma, olive, comma, onion, comma, so that. So these are listed there. So it must be separated by comma. So I'm going to put one extra comma there. After that, I will put the comma because next thing may come. So after the uh, extra cheese, olive may come. So that comma olive will be there, comma onion will be there, comma mushrooms will be there. So that is why I'm putting that comma will be there. Okay, so that is done. Let us go for the next one. I'm going to select this one, Control C to copy it, and Control V to paste it once, twice, and three times. So this is checkbox number 2. This is checkbox number 3. This is checkbox number 4. There are 4 checkboxes are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 checkboxes are there, and you got all the 4 checkboxes. For the second one, you have olives. The third one is onion. Fourth one is mushroom. So I'm going to type this one. So if the second checkbox is selected, then I'm going to say this one is olives. Okay, and comma is as usual there. If the third checkbox is selected, then it is onion. So onion, on where is it gone? Onions. Okay. Last one, it is mushrooms. Okay, the comma must be there. Mushrooms. Done. Okay, so we got everything. Now, before we return it, we have to know whether the toppings is selected or not. See, one thing you must understand here is I can let me run it. I can select a medium pizza and I will say that I don't want any toppings. So if none of the toppings are selected, then I have to say that without any toppings. If anything is selected, I will have to show it. So I will first check whether topping is selected or not. If the topping is empty, that means I will give a different method, a message. So how do I say that thing? So let me just get that information here. So if I will go to the string here, and you know very well in the string you have one important method, and that is null or empty. If my toppings is null or empty, then that means to say that what is the meaning of saying topping is null or empty? None of the toppings are selected. All of them are blank. If all of them are blank, then okay, I'm going to return, and I'm going to return the string. And let me, you know very well, I need some substitution, so I will go with the substitution. First, I will get the size here. Remember, size is either small size, medium size, large size, anything. Size. And what did they say? Size, small size pizza with, they said with, I should have used that with also here. Okay. With size pizza with no toppings. Why did I write manually? Is because if this is null, that means none of the checkboxes are selected. Then you say small sized or large size, whatever size pizza with no toppings. That is what you are going to do it. Okay. Now, what if somebody has already selected? The next part is what if the one that is shown over here. If you notice here, if somebody has already selected something, then you have to show that. If some selection is made, you have to show that. In that case, I'm going to return. I will start with the dollar. Okay. What is it? Again, as usual, I will return the size. Okay, as usual, size with. This time, I have the toppings with me. With okay, toppings. After toppings. Okay. However, there is one minor problem with this kind of selection. What is the problem is, see, how is it going to come? It's going to come like extra cheese, okay, cheese, comma, olives, okay, comma, onions. Suppose if the ends here, that comma will be there because there is, you see that everywhere it is ending with the comma. It is ending with a comma. If there is a comma here, there is a comma here. So this last comma which will come here has to be removed. So before I do it, how do I do that thing? So let me go here and let me fix that part. How can I remove that thing? So I'm going to make one surgery to this topping. So I'm going to say topping is, go to this toppings and go to the last end of it and trim that comma. So how do I say that? Trim at the end, go to the end of this topping and find out the comma. So find out the comma and replace it with, remember, replace it with a space. So instead of comma coming at the end, replace it with the space. So I'm going to say replace it with the space. Replace what? Replace that comma with the space. So this is what I'm writing. So what did I wrote here is replace this comma which are here, these comma which is here, which is here, which is here, all this comma, replace it with the space. That is it. So, comma which is coming at the end, not at the beginning. If the last comma is there, so for example, you have olives, comma, onion, okay, onions, comma, mushrooms. Okay. If this last comma is there, so this select this last comma, select this last comma, and replace it with the space. That is what is being done, so that the last comma will be eliminated from the list. So this is what I have done. Now this is just to calculate the order details. But what has to be shown on the label? Just look at it here. Where is this one? On the label, you have to even show this one. The size must be shown here. What we got is only this part. We got only this part, but not the size. So in order to show something on the label, I will write one more function. So I will write one more function. Remember, all these function must be inside the partial function. Don't go outside this one. So I will go outside this method that I've just written. So this is the method that you can click on this and you can say this is the method. So I'm going to click on this method and outside this method, and I'm going to say what I can say, a private method. So I'm going to say private, and this method does not return anything, and I'm going to say show label. Okay. One method is show label, and this show label will show the everything. This show label is used to show the content here. So what are the content? I must get the number from here, quantity. This part again, these two part I have already taken care. This part I have taken care. So let me go and get that information from the numeric. Remember, whatever you type in this numeric, if you go to this, where is it on? If you go to this numeric here, okay, and if you go to the properties of it, don't do it. The property value is double. What is stored inside this one? Somewhere you will see the data type of it is a double. It is not the other one. So this value, even though you see this one as a number here, it's actually a double. It's not an integer. So I will get a variable of type double, and I'm going to call this one as quantity. And I think it is not a double, it is a decimal. I think the data type of it is somewhere we saw that one as a decimal. It is actually a decimal, not double. Okay, somewhere I saw the data type of it is double. Okay, I'm going to just do it, and you will see an error. So if I try to do it, so I know that it is not the double. Then I will convert it into double. So to double, I will convert it. Its data type is, I suppose, where is it from? Its data type is decimal, I suppose. I will convert it into double. So, variable, how to convert it? Convert is the class, you can use it. And what is the name of this thing altogether? So, this is called, as you know very well, numeric up and down. So, let's call that one. So, I will go to this numeric up and down, and I will ask it to give me the value. So, one of the general mistake that is done in the examination is, instead of value, you select validate. It is the value that needs to be selected, so be careful. So these things, what you notice here, let me go to the properties of that. So this is the value. So this property is the value that you are writing there, and I'm going to set the value. By the way, I have to go to the value here. See, the problem is, if somebody is ordering the what is it, pizza, I don't want them to order zero quantity. So minimum quantity is one. So I'm going to set the minimum quantity. How do I do that thing? I will go to this. You are here. Go to this form here. Click on this. That is a numeric up and down. Right click and go to its properties. And I will go here, and you see this minimum maximum is there. You see that a minimum maximum is there. Minimum quantity, I will say it as one. You set the minimum quantity as one, saying that minimum one has to be ordered. So you can't just leave it. The minute you do it, automatically the value will also change it to one. This will, when you change it here, minimum, the value automatically changes as one. So I'm getting this value. Just do that part because I want the minimum value to be one. Otherwise, I have to again check whether the quantity is greater than zero. Then otherwise, I have to give one more error message saying that please select some quantity and so on so forth. So minimum will be one. So let me go back, and I got the value. Remember, I'm getting the value from here. So I got the value. Let me go back and let me get the value from there. So I have the value with me, and then I will get this one. What is this string order? Remember, so what I got now, just go here. What I got is this value. I got this value. I already have written a function to get this one. I'm going to combine both of them. So let me call this function. Go here. Let me call this function. What is the name of this function? Get order detail. I'm going to call that function here. So I will say string, and I will create a variable details, and I will say get order detail. So I'm calling this function, which is this function get order detail. It's going to return a string. You know very well, it's going to return string. This is not required. This I just added it. This last string is there. This is not, even if it is there, nothing is going to happen because it won't be reached. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. I added it because I was giving you explanation. That time I added. So that one is not part of it because you know very well, either this if condition will be true or else condition will be true. You won't reach that line at all. So 100% you won't reach that line. So I'm removing that one extra return that I have written last time. I just removed that thing. So what I've done is I'm calling this function get order detail. It will return a string. So I got this string. So I got the quantity and I got the details. So I got this quantity. I got this quantity, and this part details. I'm getting it. So both of them I got it. So I got the quantity as well as detail. Now it's the time to combine them together and put it into the label. So what is the name of my label? So this label, you know very well, that label is label 2. This label is label 2. So let's go to the label 2. So I'm going to say label 2 dot text is equal to, again I'm going to combine them, and I'm going to write the string as given by them. So what they have given here is they said your order, then the details. So I will start like this. Okay, whatever they have said. So your order, your order and semicolon. Then you have the quantity, QTY. Okay. Your order, you notice that your order, first part, your order, then the quantity, okay. Then this detail, whatever selection you've made, that detail. So let's go, then a space, then the details. So done. Okay. So suppose some of you may be wondering, why did I do that thing? I need that. I will explain why I have not taken that quantity as part of some of you may wonder, why did you do it in the first function itself? Why you are complicating? I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you why. What was the reason why I didn't choose to do that thing? Let me just remove this part. Done. 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 Let's now handle these check buttons and what the other part. So I'm going to, what if somebody clicks on this, clicks on this, clicks on this? I want to show the details here. So let's click on this one. That is a small size. So click on it. First click on it. So click on this one, click on it, and then double click on it. Some of you simply double click on this and that. First click and then double click. So when you double click, remember when you click on it, you see a border around it saying that that got selected, and then come to that position. Don't click here and there. Come to that position and double click on it. Some of you click select here and then double click here. This is not the way of doing it. You have to select it and then come to the same control and then double click on it. So when you double click on it, you get a radio button one dot checked changed. So this is the state you got it. Okay, so this is the state you are getting it. Now I have to do it for all the other buttons also. Whether you select, I have to come to the same method. This same method will be used by all the three radio buttons. So how do I do it? Remember, if you go and double click, don't do it. If you go and double click on this one, it will create one more method. I don't want other method to be there. I want only one method to handle all of them. So I want these three, all of them has to go to only one method. So there will be only one method that will handle all these click event. So how do I do that thing? So there is this is a bit tricky. So you click on this one, second one, medium. You click on it one. So medium. Don't double click now. Just click on it. Don't double click. Just click on it. Right click on it, and then go to properties. So no double clicking this time. Just right click and go to the property. I'm going to fix this property for time being because I need it for all the others also. So I'm going to pin this one. You notice that this is radio button 2. You notice this is radio button 2. That is the second radio button. Now I'm going to go here, and you notice two parts here. One part is the properties. The second part here is the event. You can always switch between these two, event and properties. If you click on properties, properties will come. If you click on event, event will come. What is the property or what is the event? That is check the change. This is the default event, and I want to set the same method, radio 1 button check the change. This method has to come there even for the second button. So what I've done is I've selected this one. I went to the properties, and within the properties I've changed it to event and check the change. You notice this is the name, and just to clarify, this is the one, check the change. You notice the method name of check the change, and I'm doing the same thing. What is that? I'm doing check the change for the second button. Click here, click on the down arrow, and you will be able to select the radio button 1 checked. This is the method. Which is this method? This is this method. So this method name, radio 1 button checked. So I'm saying that even for this second button, second radio button, the event is same. Same event will handle this. Okay. Similarly, I'm going to click on the last button, that is large here. I will go to the radio button again. I will go to this radio button 3. Again, I'm going to click on the event. So this is the event. Again, check the change. same for the radio button 3. Click on the down arrow and I'm going to select radio button check to change. So all the 3 will now come to the same method. So if you, in other words, if you click on the first radio button, second radio button or third radio button, you will come to this method only. So this method alone will handle all the checked event of all the 3 buttons. So that is what I have done. In this, what is that I am supposed to do? Okay. So when the button is clicked, I'm going to call this show label. I'm going to call that method. This method I have just written. This 2 methods I just wrote. I'm going to show that label. So I'm going to say show label. This is my method just now, private method just I wrote. So whether, in other words, whether this button is clicked, this button is clicked, this button is clicked, I'm going to call that show method, show label method. So in all the 3 cases, I'm going to call the same method. Let me save it and let me run it and let's see what happens. So when you run it, whether you select this one or whether you select this one or whether you select this one, you see that same method is called. So if you click on the small sized pizza will come. If you click on large size will come, medium, and this is large. And if you change this one and if you click on here, the numbers will change. If you select olive and then change it, you see olives will come. Because I have not handled why it is not changed. It will change because I have not handled the click event for these things. For this and this I have not handled. I am only handling click event for this one. So only this will be here. I'm going to handle very next time. I'm going to handle these events. So it is working now. Let us handle for this one. That is this our toppings. So let's handle the event for topping. Again the same story. Whether you click on this button, whether you click on this button, whether that is whether you select this checkbox, whether you select this checkbox or this, it will go to the same method. It will go to one method. How do I do that? First get the method and then do something. Okay, so first get the method and then do that part. So let's do that part here. So first click on the method. First click on the method and then double click on it. So remember, first click on it and then double click on it. So when you double click on it, it again goes to checkbox 1, check to change. Now remember, this is for the checkbox. It is not for the radio button. It is for the checkbox. So checkbox change. Checkbox 1 check to change. So that is the idea. Now come back and we are going to not double click on the second one. Just click on the second one. Right click. Go to its properties, and in the properties you have to click on the event. For the checkbox to click on the event, and what was it? Check to change. This is the event, check to change, and this must these two must have the same method. So what you are going to do, check to change and click on the down arrow, and you are not selecting radio button. Remember, this is checkbox, so you are going to select the checkbox 1, not the radio button 1. It is the checkbox 1. Get done. Again same thing, click on it, right click, go to the properties, same story, go to the event. If it is not there in the event, again check to change is again checkbox 1 change. Last one, click on the last one. If you want, you right click and go to the properties, and in the properties, where is the properties now? In the properties, go to the event, click on this event first, not in the property. Remember, it is the event, not the property. Check to change, again click on the down arrow for the checkbox 4. Check to change, it is the same thing. So in other words, for all these 3 things, it will come to the same method. So the same story, it will come to the same method. So whether you click on this checkbox, this anything, it will come to the same method. Okay, and what you are going to do, you are going to show the label here, same as the radio button. You are going to show the label here. So let's see how is it going to work. So if I select, you notice that extra cheese is there. Then you have comma olives. You see that last comma is being removed. How did I remove that last comma? You notice that when I went here, I said to trim the last comma. So that's the reason that last comma is not coming. Again, last comma is not coming. You can select any one of them, and you can do this. Select any one of them, and you notice it is coming. Okay. I have to also handle this quantity now. So let us go and handle this quantity. If this is changing, it must automatically highlight here. So let's handle that one also. I'm going to go here, and again same story. Click on this one. Click on this one. Double click on it. Yes, so you clicked on it. Remember, first click on that, and you must double. Some people again, some people will click here and then double click on this one. That's wrong. Click here and double click on the same control. When you click on the same control, you notice a very different thing. For this checked change was there, it is value change is come. For this numeric control, it is the default is the value change. What you are going to do when the value changes, you show the label. You call the same method. Show this label, the one label that I just created. Show the label. So let's run it and let's see what is going to happen. You make selection, yes, and it appears. You change it appears, yes, and you change the quantity. You notice this quantity. I'm going to change this quantity up down. You notice as I change this, will concentrate on that. As I increase or decrease, those values are automatically changed. That's what is. But there is one major problem. What is the major problem? The major problem is with the question. And what does the question say? Let's come back to the question. So the picture box, if you look at here, if you read the question, picture box should display an image of the pizza with the selected topping. So what is the meaning of that is when you select these item, your image must change. So if you say extra cheese, you must show a pizza with extra cheese. If you say extra cheese and olives, you must show a different image. If you say olives only, you must show it. Olives with mushroom, you must show a different image. That means as you make a selection, you have to show different images. So how do I do that? So how to do how to solve this particular thing. So let's go to this checkbox. Now the problem is with the checkbox. When I click on this checkbox, the images must come. So how do you do? You are showing the label, no part, no doubt about it. But what is that I'm going to do? Remember, there are four checkboxes are there. If there are four checkboxes are there, and either you can select it or you can leave it. So if it is selected, so I'm going to show like this. So there are four checkboxes are there. The first checkbox, second, third, and fourth. So just ignore the other one. Just ignore it. If the first one is selected, so this is 1. If the second one is selected, this is 1. If the third one is not selected, this is 0. Next one, it is 0. So depending upon which one is selected, if this is selected, this bit must be 1. This must be set as 1. If this second one is selected, this bit must be set 1. If it is removed, if this checkbox is removed, then it must be set back to 0. So if it is checked, then that particular bit is set to 0. Otherwise, that particular bit is set to if it is checked, that bit is set to 1. If it is not checked, the bit is set to 0. So this is the logic I am going to use it. Okay, so there will be 4 bits altogether. So you will create 4 bits. So one bit will indicate which one is selected. So in this case, if you just let me do like this, now just let me show you. Now in this case, how it's going to appear. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first bit is set, so this is 1. Second is not checked, so this is 0. This bit is 0. Next, this bit is 0. And the last bit happens to be 1. So this is 1, 2 are not selected, then 0, 1. So I'm going to do some bit manipulation in this case. So I will go with the bit manipulation. So let's go ahead and let's do that thing. So then now the question is, what if you have all the items getting selected? So what if this is selected, this is selected, this is selected? This is the maximum thing. So in this case, all the bits are selected. So this 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me say this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. So what is 1111 binary? So 111 binary. So this is 4 2 to the power 4. You must get it. What is 1111 in binary equivalent to? So if you don't know, go to the Windows calculator, and in the Windows calculator, you have a option for making it as programmable. So let's go to the programmer's calculator, and I'm going to go to this binary here, and I will select as 1111. All the 4 bits are 1111. Okay, what is the decimal equivalent of that? So it is already showing you. Decimal equivalent of that is 15. So integer 15 is equivalent to 1111. So I'm going to create a variable here. Let me go to my program, and I'm going to create a integer variable here. I will say int, and I'm going to say selected image. Okay, okay, cell image. I'm going to just use the word cell image equal to 15. This is I'm using one variable name. You can use the variable x, y, z or anything. Okay. Now, if okay, remember my problem is if everything is 15, what is the meaning of it? So if everything, let's go back. 15 means this is selected, this is selected, this is selected, this is selected. So that means everything is selected. Then there is no problem. My problem is only what if this is not selected? Then this, if it is not selected, it is 0. First one is 0. Then if these all are selected, then 0, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So I will only bother about when everything is selected. When everything is selected, there is no problem. If something is not selected, then I have to set the value as 0. 15 means all 4s are 1. Okay. Suppose in this case, what happens? The first one has to be set to 0. If this is not selected, then I have to set it as 0. So that is my idea. So if the checkbox is not selected, that particular bit has to be set to 0. How do I do that thing? So if I'm going to say, let's go to this checkbox. If what is this checkbox 1 dot checked, checked, where is it checked? So if this means that it is checked, I don't want that story. If it is not checked, so how do I say not checked? You see there, I said not checked. So if it is not checked, then I have to change. So if it is everything is selected, if everything is selected, okay, then what is the binary value? 1, 1, 1, 1. All 4 are 1. Now, if one of them is not selected, then this has to be 0. So this is a 0, 1, 1, 1. What is the decimal equivalent of 0, 1, 1, 1? So let me go to the calculator. I think I closed the calculator. Let me open that calculator. And in the calculator, I'll go to my program. It is already there in the programmer. Okay, I'm going to say 1, 1, 1, 1. Binary 1, 1, 1, not decimal, sorry. Let me clear everything. Binary 1, 1, 1, 1. So not this one. See, what is it? 1, 1, 1. Okay, what is the equivalent of this? Decimal equivalent of this is 7. So what I am supposed to do it? Okay, remember I have to set the bit. So if all are 1, it is 1, 1, 1, 1. First one is 0. Then I am saying it is 1, 1, 1. Okay, so I am going to do the AND operation. Hope you are familiar with the AND operation. Otherwise, clear your first year papers and then come here. Okay, AND operation. Let me type everything in AND. AND means if both are 1, the AND is 1. If both are 1, AND is 1. If both are 1, AND is 1. If one of them is 0, AND will be 0. So this is what I am going to do. I am going to perform AND 15. Remember, this is 15. This is 15, this one is 15, and this is 7. I'm going to perform bind the bitwise and on that, and I'm going to get that value. So I'm going to perform the bitwise and on this one. So how do I perform that particular thing? How to do that thing? So I'm going to say selected image is equal to selected image binary. This is bitwise and 7. instead of writing this whole story, you know very well, if you studied the C program and if you cleared the C program, you can write it with the short, and you can write it as this is a compound assignment. Selected image is equal to selected image and this. Okay. What if the second checkbox is checked? It is not checked. Not if it checks to well and good. If it is not checked, only the problem will come. You have to go with the not checked. What if the third checkbox is not checked? What if the fourth checkbox are not checked? Remember, we are searching for not checked. So if the second checkbox is not checked, what is the meaning of that? So if all of them are checked, then the binary equivalent is 1111, which is 15. You know very well. If this one is not checked, you know very well. This is if the first one is not checked, it is 7. What if the second one is not checked? The second one is not checked, then it is going to become 1011. Okay, 1011. What is the binary equivalent of 1011? Again, I closed that calculator. I don't know why my hand goes there and closes that calculator. Okay, let's go to the. It is in the program mail. Okay, I'm going to make it as 1011. So 1011. What is the binary equivalent of the decimal equivalent of it? Decimal equivalent of that is 11. So I'm going to do this one 1111, that is 15. Then I will perform 1011. I'm going to perform the AND operation on this one. When you perform AND operation, if both are 1, you get 1. If both are 1, you get 1. If one of them is 0, you get this one as 0. If both are 1, you get this one. So you get the middle one as 0. Okay, so I'm going to perform, this is 15. All 1 is 15, you know very well. 1011 is 11. So I will perform the AND operation on 11. So let me do that thing. I'm going to go here and I'm going to perform. If the second one is there, I'm going to perform the AND operation on that. What if the third button is, if all the buttons are selected, you know very well, if all the buttons are selected, all the checkboxes are selected, then it is 1111. If the third one is not selected, then what is going to happen? If the third one is not selected, it's going to be 1101. Okay. What is 1101? You know very well, 111 is 15. What is 1101? What is 1101? 1101 is, I don't know. Let's go to the calculator and let's ask that calculator, what is 1101? The calculator will, this is this number, 1101. The calculator will say that decimal equivalent of that is 13. So I'm going to perform the AND operation on 13. So I will perform the AND operation or using 13. Done. Okay. Now my last choice is, where is my last choice? Last choice is, if all are selected, you know very well, this is 1111. If the last one is not selected, then what is it? It is going to be 1110. What is the binary equivalent? What is the decimal equivalent? You know very well, this is 15. First one is 15. What is the decimal value of that? Again, I will go to the calculator. I will click on the binary, clear it. I'm going to say 1110. So what is the binary equivalent of this one? Decimal equivalent of that. Decimal is 14. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, if it is not, I will perform the AND operation on 14. Okay. Now your question, obvious question will come. If you use your common sense, you will come to know that, what if first and last is selected? Remember, when the second one is not selected, I will go with the 11 here. If the second one is not selected, I will go with the 11. The second bit is eliminated. If the third one is not selected, I will go with this one. Then the third bit gets eliminated. Use your common sense and you will come to know that this story will work for any possibilities. So once you have done that thing, you got a number. So when you do the subtraction, you get some number. This is at the end of the day, this is an integer. Okay, what is the maximum value of this? Its maximum value will be 15 there. So you have 16 images there. Okay. Now Let us go to the picture box, and you notice, let me just tell you, you have this image list here, and let me go to this choose image. You notice, let's go choose image, and you have all these 16 images. I am not interested in the name of the image. I want the index of this image. You notice that I'm interested in the index of it. The last index must be 15. Okay, and you know very well, if all of them are selected, all the checkboxes are selected, then what you get, the index value what you get is 15. In between any combination, you know really, if one is not there, it becomes 14, 10, 12, 13, whatever it is. All of them have the indexes here. It will select the corresponding image. So if this number is 7, it's going to go here and select the image at the 7th location. If it is 8, if when you make something, if you get the answer as 8101110 something, you got 8, I don't know what is it, you got the 8, that means this image will get selected depending upon what is the binary, the decimal equivalent or the integer equivalent of this binary value. You are going to select one images from here. So if this value happens to be 4, the fourth image will be selected. If this value is 15th, the 15th image will be selected. So this image will be selected from this list. And after selecting, you have to show that image and put it in this picture box. So how do I do that thing? So I'm going to go here, close it. Let me go here, and I will go to my picture box, and I'm going to say picture box. See, the image that I'm going to give you is, it will come from the image list, and you know very well, image list has lot of images, and which images you are going to select. Remember, I told you, you have to give the index there, and this will decide the index. Cell image will decide this image. Remember, we are doing a lot of manipulation with this cell images. So we are performing the AND operation with this cell image. Maximum value will be 50. Otherwise, it will be the any other value. So let's see whether we are able to get to that point. So if I select something, you get one image. If I select one more, you get the image. If I remove the first one, you get the image. Depending upon, so this what is this value? This is 0, 1, 0, 0. What is the value of 1, 0, 0? I don't know. If you have studied the first year paper, that is FIT, and if you have cleared it, you must know what is the binary, is the decimal equivalent of 100. That value will you are going to get. If you do this one, what is going to be the answer? This is 0110. What is the equivalent of this? You know it, that number from your image list, the image list that I have just shown you here. From that image list, one of the image will be selected. So you notice you get all the images done with this part. Let's go ahead and let's handle the other remaining part. And what is the other remaining part? Other remaining part is, what if somebody clicks on the order? So that is what we are supposed to do. That's the main part here. When somebody clicks on the order, let's see what they have asked for. When somebody clicks on the order, you have to calculate and display the total amount. You have to calculate it and then display the total amount. Now, this is even the image that they have shown here. It looks that you have to calculate. See, uh, two quantities are there, and the small pizza is there. So you just multiply 2 into the amount for this pizza and then add it. So here they have given you, if the small size this pizza is there, this is 100 rupees. If it is large, it is 150 rupees. If it is something else, it is they have given. And if you are adding the cheese, you have to add extra 30 rupees to that. If you are adding olives, it is extra 30 rupees, onion 20 rupees, and so on. So you feel like, okay, just add it, that's it. You calculate which is the, you run it and just tell you. So if I don't select anything, if I select a small pizza and if I select the quantity as 2, that means for one small pizza it is 100 rupees. 100 into 2, it is going to be 200. Okay. If I select a medium, it is going to be 150 into 2, that is 300 rupees. On top of it, if I add extra cheese for that 300 rupees, I will have to pay 30 rupees extra. You think that that is the easiest one. Okay, but I also felt that that was the easiest one. But the problem is they said something different. They said that you calculate the total like this. You calculate the total, and then you show the order summary. Now I was wondering what is this order summary. If you want to know what is this order summary, then you must read the second question, the second part. What does the second part say? Now, if you look at the second part here, it says it creates the size of the topping container, whatever it is, so that this is a very dangerous part, so that you can add another variety to the piece. What is the meaning of that is when you click on the order, see, this is one order. This is one order. Medium sized pizza, this is one order. Okay, this is one order. Suppose if I select again small sized something, click on the order, this will be the second order. Okay, the second order. Suppose if I select mushroom and then go for the, this will be the third order. If I just change this quantity or something else, this will be the third order. So you can have multiple orders here. So one order, second order, third order, like this. Those orders total has to be shown here. So that is what they are saying here. So you calculate the total for every order and then show the display the order summary. That has to be shown. This is going to be a difficult challenge now because you need to take care of both of them. Now, every order, if you just look at every order has a few things. One is you must know how many quantities were purchased and what is the total. How many quantities? Remember, this story is different. Okay? How many quantities and what is the total? That is the reason. If you look at my code over here, when I wrote this, I'm going to stop this. When I wrote here, I told you that when I created this label, I told you that I'm not going to take the quantity. I'm going to take only the first part, this part only. That's the reason. Only this part I'm going to take. Which part? This part I'm going to take it. I will not take the quantity. The reason for that is I will take this one as one order. One order is this. Remember, quantity can change. Now they may say that okay, I want two pizza, same thing, but later they may say that add plus two more pizza to that. Remember, that is not a new order. This is the old order itself. Only the quantity is changed to 4. So you go to the Flipkart there or Amazon or any other. You add one item. So I say I want one. Say what is I want one shampoo. So one shampoo. Later you say no, I want one more shampoo. So they will not say that this is one order. Second one is also one order. It is the same order. Only the thing is quantity is changed. Quantity has been changed to 2. So that is the idea. Okay. That's the reason. Quantity I kept it separate. So the quantity may change, but if the item is same and if they change the quantity, just change the quantity, not the item. Now I need to store two things with my program. What are the two things I need to store? I need to store the what is the item that they are asking for, that is the pizza whatever they have selected, and I must know what is the quantity they have ordered. Both of them must be there. So I will take, where is my mouse pointer? I will take this one as the key. So this is the key in which I'm going to store the value, and the details of the pizza whatever they have selected as the value. So what I'm going to say is see the item number 1, you generally say item number 1, and you say blah blah blah, you write something. Okay? Item number 2, and you say something. So if you have seen the bills there, any bill, if you take any bill, let me just show you a bill, and then I will be able to highlight to you. Here what I have here is a bill that is generated. Now you notice that these items over here in the bill, what you have is a description. You will find that there will be some description, and then you have the quantity, and the amount. So somewhere you find the quantity and amount and the total amount, whichever is there. So this will be unique. Suppose if the quantity is changing, suppose if this automatic saw is repeating again, you will just make the quantity as 2. You will not repeat that thing again. And finally, definitely at the end of the bill, you will have the total. And for a real bill, you may have GST and CST and all the other details. So when I look at my pizza here, so if you look at the pizza story here, now the quantity is going to change, and all the total. See, the total depends on the which item you are selecting from here and which items you are selecting from here. So based on that, the quantity will change. So now let me first of all let me try to get this quantity, the total for this quantity, and let's see how we can incorporate this in our example. So I'm going to find the total amount for a given bill. So how can I find the total amount? Now you know very well the total amount is nothing but whichever item that is selected here. So that is the whichever item that is selected here and well as here into the quantity. And that is going to give me the total amount for the order. So let me first calculate that thing. So I'm going to go to my Visual Studio over here. There's the Visual Studio here. Okay. And I will go down. I don't need the properties, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to go add one more method here. This will be my private method that will give me the total amount. So I'm going to say private, and when I do the calculation, I'm going to get a fractional value. So I'm going to call this as the double, and let me give a name for this one as total amount. And this total amount, how can I calculate it? Now let me just get the quantity. How can I get the quantity? You know very well, I told you before also, to get the quantity I have to go to the numeric up and down. So I have to go here to the numeric up and down. Now this will give me in decimal, and I have to convert it into double. So this is what I'm going to do. So I will go here and I will convert this one into double, not date and time, let's say to double. And I will go to this numeric up and down, and I'm going to ask it what is the value you have. Okay, what is the value you have it here. So this is what I'm going to do. So I will go to my numerical up and down, and I will ask what is the value. This will be in decimal, and I'm going to convert it into double, so that this part is done. Now what is left over now is to get the price for this one. So what is the price if these items are selected? What is the price if these items are selected? For that they have given us the calculation here. So suppose if you are selecting the small, medium or large, the price is 100, 150 and 200. So if you are selecting the small, medium or large, the first one is 100, next one is 150, next one is 200. That is what the value they have given there. So let us incorporate that in our program. So how can I do that thing? So I'm going to create one variable called as price. Let me say price. I will initialize it with the 0. Now I will have to check which button is clicked here. So if you look at here, among them, which button is getting clicked, whether it is a first radio button, whether it's a second radio button, or whether it is a third radio button. If it is first radio button, then the amount is 100. If it is second, it is 150, and third one is 200. So let me go ahead and let me do that part. So I'm going to say if the radio button 1 is selected, if the radio button 1 is checked, okay, so checked, so then what are you going to do? Then I'm going to set the price equal to 100. This is what they have said. If you are selecting the first radio button, that is the small, and according to them, the price is 100. So this is the idea. If it is the second checkbox, the radio button, it is 150. If it is the third radio button, it is 200. So let us quickly get to that point. So if it is 1, I have done it. Let me just control C it here. Then to enter here. Control V one time and Control V two times. So this is, if it is the second checkbox, then the price is 150. This is what they have told. And if it is the third checkbox, the price is 200. This is what is mentioned in the question. So this is what they have said there. Okay, so what they have said there. Let us, where is it gone? Okay, let us look at the second part. So in the second part, what they have asked. For extra cheese, 30 rupees, olives 30 rupees, onion 20 and remaining 30. So remember these things, as I've already told you, one important thing over here is, I've already told you, in the first part, after what is that I have not done, it must return some value. Again, I will write it, return something. Later I'm going to correct this one. So I'm going to say return 0. This is just to make it run. I will delete that line later. So just otherwise it won't allow me to run this because it is an error. Now in the first part, you can make only one selection. So this is 100, 150 or 200. Here the possibilities are there. So this I can select. So this becomes 60. If I select this, this becomes 90. If I remove this and if you make it, some other values will come. So I have any possibility. So I have to add the previous plus next plus next plus next. So I have to keep on adding. Here it is straightforward, 100, 150, 200. It is, if there are two items are selected, then 30 plus 30. So that is how we are supposed to do it, because they said that for extra cheese it is 30, for olives it is 30, for onion it is 20, and the mushroom it is 20. So I can select it any order. So I have to see to it that the previous values are also taken care. So let me take care of this one. So if I'm going to say, if the first checkbox, so if the checkbox one is checked, if the first checkbox is checked, then I'm going to say price is whatever the previous value of the price was there, whatever these values are there, for this I have to add. So how do I say that? Price is equal to price plus 30. So this is what they have said. So, you know, 30, extra 30 you have to add it. Now instead of writing this whole story, you know very well I can write a compound assignment, then that is plus equal to 30. So this will be faster rather than writing it a lengthier one. I'm going to do it for all the remaining text of the check boxes. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste it uh, 3 times, 4 times here. So next one is the checkbox number 2. Next box is the checkbox 3, checkbox 4. So here you will notice that only for onions it is 20. Remaining all are proper. So onion, you have to just say it is 20. Only for onions. So the remaining it is same. Okay. Finally, what I'm going to do? I'm going to return. So I have the quantity and I have the price. So I have to return the quantity into price. So this is going to calculate the total amount for me. So what is the price? Price is, so if I just run this one, so what is the price? Price is whatever you have selected, whatever you have made the selection. So these are here, whatever you have made the selection, plus whatever quantity you have selected. So that into, so quantity into the price. I'm calculating both for the radio button I'm calculating and for the toppings I'm calculating. That will be my price. Price into quantity will be my total. So that is done. Now, what is that I am supposed to do here? So when this button, which one, when the button one is clicked, so let's show this one. When this button one, this is the button one. So if you just look at here, if this is the button one. When this button one is clicked, I am supposed to not only calculate the total, what they have said is I'm supposed to calculate the total amount, which I've done just now, and I have to show the order summary. What is the meaning of saying order summary? I've already told you. We can order more than one items at a time. So this is one order. This is one order. Similar to this, I can order one more I can order one more, and then I'm supposed to calculate the total for that, grand total for that, in other words. So I'm supposed to do that a particular thing. So let me double click on this order now. I'm going to double click on this order. So when this order, which is nothing but the button 1, this is the button 1, you notice that this is the button 1. So when this button 1 is clicked, what is that I am supposed to do it? Okay, so a few things you must understand here. One is definitely you have to get to the total amount there, and you have to store that thing. So remember, when you add the first item, it is you can straight away calculate it. Okay, when you add the first item, you can calculate it. When you add the second item, you must know what was the previous item. So you must store this somewhere, so that if the second item is added, this must be also stored. If the third item is added, it must be stored. So these items must be stored. So which are the things that need to be stored? First of all, you must store the quantity as well as this price has to be stored. So let me go and let me create a variable, and I'm going to create a structure. You have studied the structure in your C program, and you have just forgotten the structure, and you thought structures will not be used anywhere. So now I'm giving an option to create a structure. Remember, I am going outside this partial class. So I'm going outside this partial class, and I'm going to create the structure. How do you create a structure? In C, you know very well, to create a structure, you say structure. Okay, and I'm going to call the name of this structure as pizza. There will be two member variable in this structure. One, I'm going to make it as public. So public, and both of them will be of type double. What are the two things? One is the quantity. Let me write the quantity. Other one is the amount. So I've created a structure which is going to do that thing. Now this is for one order. I have to store it for multiple orders because they said that you can add, this is one order, this is one order. Similarly, I have to store the second order. Similarly, I have to store the third order, fourth order, fifth order. So I have to keep on storing all the orders. How can I store it? I will not store it in the array because I need to, the reason for that is, you know very well, if you add this item, if you add this item, so this item is added, okay. Later, if you add the same item with the different quantity, suppose if you add 4 more items, so then already 2 items were there. You add one more time, then this quantity will change as 6. So I must know which is these things which are being stored. So I must know whether the same item with the different quantity is being added. So let's look at the bill here. So if this is what I told you, if the same automatic saw is brought again, then I'm not going to write automatic saw again. Rather, I'm going to just make the quantity as 2. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I must know which are the items that are being brought. So I'm going to store them in two possibilities. This is the key. Key is the automatic sort. These are the values. Which are the two values that you are going to store? One is the quantity, and the other one is the amount. So this is the key. Again, this is going to be the key, and this will be the value. And as I've already created that structure, this quantity and the amount are stored inside a structure. I have created a structure. Where is that structure? Just now I just created the structure here. This. I'm calling that as pizza. And what about this part? This is a string. You notice that this part is a string. So I'm going to create a dictionary with the key as the string, that is the details, order details, and the values as a structure. So this is the structure. This structure will contain only two parts. One is the amount and the quantity. So let me create a structure here. So this time, look at here. Last time I went outside the partial class. This time I am going to go to the, go here. Where is it going? Okay. So let me press enter. So what it is doing, let it just get that I'm doing something. And if you have noticed that Microsoft has this bug in that their almost all software they have one bug. You might have noticed that, right? The cursor position where it is showing and where you're typing, sometimes they are mismatched. So it is there in Word, Excel, everywhere it is there, and Microsoft has not done anything about that. And it is true even in the Visual Studio now. Okay, so let's come back to the story over here, and let us create a private variable, and I'm going to create a private dictionary, and the dictionary will contain string, and next part is the pizza. So what is this pizza? I have already told you. One is the string, other one was my structure. So structure contains quantity and amount. So this was the structure, and I called that structure as pizza. You notice that I called that structure amount and quantity. I called that structure as pizza. So my dictionary will contain string and pizza. In my case, their case that may be different. So in my case, I have the string as well as pizza. This part I'm calling it as pizza. So I'm going to initialize this. Let me call the variable name as orders. So you can we are talking about creating the order. So I'm going to create a new instance of it, and I'm going to say new the dictionary. So I just created a dictionary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add into that dictionary for every new order that I'm going to generate. I will keep a dictionary with the key value pair. Key is the string, and value is that this is a so string value key value pair. So the key value pair. So this is how it's going to come. One first part is the key. Key is that string, and value will be my pizza. So value will be my pizza. So here, if you notice, key is this. Value will be my pizza. That is structure. So this is the key value pair. So you have a key and value. Key and value. So I'm going to store it in the dictionary. That is the key value pair is called as a dictionary. If you don't know, that is called as a dictionary. So let me go ahead. Let me come back to my place where I was doing my calculation. So what is that I am supposed to do here? So I know I have already calculated the total, which is done. Okay. So I'm going to store these two things. What are the two things I said? I will store the quantity as well as I'm going to store the amount. So let me get the quantity, and you know very well to get the quantity it is easier. So I'm going to say double quantity, and where is this quantity? For us, the quantity is there in this numeric top and down, and I will have to convert it into, because it is in the decimal format, I have to convert it into double. So I will convert it into double. So I'm going to say convert to double, and what is it? A numerical up and down. So I'm going to say numeric up down, and I'm going to get the value which is stored inside that numerical up and down. So in other words, I go to this numerical up and down, I select the value, I convert it into double, and I store it inside my, I don't need this calculator anymore. Okay. So I'm going to store it in that. Next thing is I want the details. So you notice that in my this part I need the quantity, and I need the detailed that is total amount. I need this, not the detail. I need this total amount. That is the total quantity into price. This total is required, and you know very well. I have already written a program. I written a function to calculate the total. So I'm going to call this function, that is the total amount. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to say double, okay, because it is written in double here. So it returns the double data type. So I will create a double data type here also. Let me call this one as amount. I will put a short form. And how do I get it? I will call this function. What is the name of this function? Total amount. This is the name of the function, total amount. I will call that function. So I'm going to say this is total amount. I will call that a function. Done. So I got the total amount. I got the other one. So two are done. Okay. Also, I need this part is done. So I need this part. That is the quantity. I got this quantity. I got the quantity. I got the amount. This part is done. Now I need this string. So I need this string. In my case, what is this string? In my case, this is without this quantity because I've already taken care of the quantity. I need this string. So where is this string? I have already generated that string. The first thing I did was this one. So I went here, and the first thing I did was that I generated that string. The item with some toppings, without toppings, with the toppings. So this is the one that I have done. So what is the name of this one? Get order details. So I'm going to create a string variable. So let me create a string variable, string, and I'm going to call it as the details. Okay, and how do I do that? Get order details. So I get that one. We got this also. And you know very well, when you have too many items, so you have one item here, this is one item, you have the second item, you have the third item, you need a grand total. So any bill will have this grand total at the end. You have this grand total. I need this grand total of that bill. So I'm going to create one more variable. So let me create one more variable, and I'm going to say double, and I will say final amount. So final total, or anything, final amount or final total. Let me, one variable, you use any variable. I don't get the names for the variable. So just one variable, I got it. Now we will do the calculation only if the amount that we have calculated is greater than 0. For some reason, if the amount is not greater than 0, we will not do the calculation. But if the amount will not be will not be less than 0. So is there a possibility so that the amount will go negative? So then it can such a thing happen? I don't think so. That possibility is there. So let me create one pizza. Remember, I have to put this two things. Where is it from? I have to put this amount and quantity. This one, amount, amount, and quantity and amount. These two I have already told you. We are placing them inside a structure called as pizza. I created this structure pizza here. Top, at the top, I created this structure pizza with the structure pizza with the quantity and amount. I'm going to store that quantity and amount inside that pizza. So I will first create a pizza. So let me say pizza. Okay. Let me call it as P, and let me store the value of this one. Pizza dot amount is equal to the amount that I've calculated. So this is the amount that I calculated. Okay, amount, and pizza dot what is that? A quantity. I've already calculated the quantity. So this quantity I will store that inside that one. Okay. So quantity done. Now the question comes is how do I add this into my dictionary? Remember, I told you everything. I'm going to store it in a dictionary, and I've already created this dictionary called as orders. So this is a dictionary. I told you that I will store it as a key value pair. So this is one key and value. So this will be the key. This is the value. Okay. Again, there will be key and value. So you are going to store it as key and value. Remember, the key is order details. Value is that pizza. That is the structure. You're going to store it. So how do I store that thing? Let me go here and let me do that thing. Okay. How to do that? Remember the name of you forgot, the name of my dictionary is orders. So if you want to store something inside order, you are going to say orders, okay, dot add. So simple as that. So you have to add, first one is the key, which is the details. Okay. So remember, this is the details, and then this part is that pizza. So what is the detail? Details is already I put here. So this one is the details, and the value is that pizza. That is the speed. This you've done it. Now this looks simple, but the only problem is what if the item is added again? So that I the thing that I gave you caution about. If suppose somebody buys this automatic saw again, then only the quantity and that pricing has to be changed. These two things has to be changed. So if it is already there in the dictionary, then you have to update the values, update the quantity as well as update the amount. If it is already there, if this automatic saw is already there and somebody is adding again, for example, you have a Stanley hammer is already there, and if somebody adds one more Stanley hammer, if it is already there, you have to just change the quantity as well as the amount. So we will have to first see whether that key, this is the key, that is this detail. If this detail is already there in the dictionary, if it is there, just update these values. Okay, how can I do that? So before adding, I have to just check if the name of my dictionary is orders. So I'm going to say if the orders okay, contains the key, what is the name of the key? Details. Okay, so what is the meaning of that? What does this means? This just means to say that if this order already contains the details, same detail is already there, and somebody is adding the same automatic saw again, if it is added, it is already there, already contains that, then you have to update the key value pair. So that is what I have written here. If the order contains the details, okay, then what is that I am supposed to do? I am supposed to update the quantity. Okay, so I am supposed to add, remember the new value, whatever the value is there, if it is already there, if automatic saw is already there and somebody is adding a new, then what I have to do is I have to add the previous value whatever is there. For that I have to add, suppose if one item is already purchased and if the suppose second time four items are purchased, so I have to add 1 plus 4, previous value plus the current value. Similarly, the previous amount was 52 rupees, and what is the current amount? Maybe current amount maybe I don't know, maybe see this previous amount is some 52 and the current amount maybe 600 rupees or something. You add that amount to that. So previous quantity plus the current quantity and previous amount plus that. In other words, whatever amount which is there in the dictionary, for this add the new amount. Whatever amount which is there in the, whatever quantity which is there in the dictionary, add a new quantity. Whatever amount is there in the dictionary, add a new amount. So this is what we are supposed to do it. So how can I write that thing? So I have to say that the new value of quantity is okay, old value of the quantity plus whatever that is there in the orders. So orders, and remember you are writing like an array. So in the array, hope you are familiar with that array. So in the array you are writing a of 0, you are writing like this, a of 1, a of 1 you are writing like this. Now in this case we are writing orders of 0, okay, like this, orders of 1, like array only we are writing, but only difference is now in the array these indices are numeric 0 1 2 3 4, but in our case these are not numeric. So these items what you see over here, this is not numeric, this is a string. Okay, these are details. Okay, this is a string. It is in your C or other, this is a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, like that. But here it is a string. So how do I write that thing? So orders of details, okay, that value, from that value get the quantity. Okay, so that is it. So what is the meaning of this? The previous orders details quantity. So previous, if you are adding new item, previous order details quantity, this is 2 plus new quantity, that is 4. So total it will be 5. Similarly, previous order 52 plus 95 rupees, something like that, and the total. So similarly, you have to do it for the other one also. Let me do that one also. So let's go here. P dot amount is equal to, Again, I am not going to use equal to that, plus equal to, you know very well, it's a compound assignment. I am going to use orders dot details, okay, dot amount. Okay. Now you updated this value. Remember, you updated this. Where is it gone? So you updated this. This is 5 now, and maybe this is 95 now. Whatever it is, 95, whatever it is. This has to be updated. It has to be set back to the details. You just updated it somewhere. You updated it, calculated here. You did some manual calculation. You have to update it back. So your temporary calculation has to be updated back. How do I write that? I'm going to say order details value is equal to the new pizza. So you updated the pizza quantity has been updated, pizza amount has been updated, and then you write this part. Okay, so I think I'm going to just put contains a key, not this contains key. So this just make a correction. That's what when I selected it, I think I wrongly selected this. So this is contains a key, not contains. Contains the key. We are searching for the key here. We are searching for the key, this key value. So this is contains key. Okay. So this is contains key, not just contains key, and then we are doing. Else, if it is not there, so if the new item is there, suppose you are buying some manual saw, which is not there. Automatic saw is there, manual saw is not there. Then you put the 3 manual saw, you write it manual saw, and all the values you fill it. So if it is not there, you add it. So else part is already I have done it. So else part I have already done that. So what is this? Add it. If it is not there, you add it. If it is there, see, if it is already there, if the item is already there, update it. If it is not there, add the full details. So that is what is been done. So you have done up to this part. Now what is the next thing? Next thing is we have to show, it is not enough. We have to show that the details here. To show that order details here. This is what they have said. You have to show the order details. Order summary has to be shown here. I have to show that order summary. So this is the text box. So whatever previous values are there, you have to erase it, and then you have to put the new one. So how can I erase the previous value? So I can go to the this control. Now what is the name of that control? If you forgot that name of that control, let me just show you. The name of this control is rich text box 1. So you just go here and then say rich text box 1 dot, you have a function called as clear, which will clear the previous content. If any previous contents are there, like this for example, if anything is there, it will clear the content. So clear that thing, and then you have to keep on adding all of them. So you keep on adding all the details. So you, where is it gone? So you start adding one item. So you clear the content, you add the first item, for example 2 small sized pizza with the topping. You show what is the price. You add the second item, you show the price. You add the third item, you show the price, and finally you show the grand total. So this is what we are going to do. So we will keep on adding one item at a time. So how many items has to be added? How many items you have inserted into orders? So here, how many items you inserted? Those many you have added many items into the orders. Those many items has to be displayed now. So I'm going to run a for loop here. I'm going to say for each. I will use this for each. For each item in my orders. So see, my orders have a lot of items here. So I am adding many items to my orders. For each item in the order, what is that I am supposed to do? I am supposed to show all the details, okay, one after the other. Now this I am going to do it. For each I am going to do it only if there are any items that I have added. Suppose if no items are added. If no items, if for example, this is the case, no items are added, then don't show it. So if there are any items added into the orders, then show it. So I'm going to do before this, I just delete it. Before this, I will just check if there is any items are there. So how can I check that? If my orders, and I'm going to count how many items are there. If the count of items which are there in my orders are greater than 0, that means at least one item is there in the order, then only I will take the pain of going through it and displaying it. If there is no item in the order, then there is no point in adding anything. So I will show it in a beautiful way. I'm going to first show a rich text box, and I'm going to use the append. You know what is the meaning of saying append? Append means add at the end. First, I'm going to show some details. So I'm going to say order details. I'm going to show this one, order details. And let me use slash n. You are familiar with the C program. So what is this slash n in a C? So this is new line. So all our details will come in the new line. So first it will come as order detail. This one will come. So for example, you look at the bill here, you will have the particulars, this kind of thing, particulars, and this heading will be there. I don't want to type all those things and make the life complicated. So instead of that, just one dashed line, and I'm just saying order details. Instead of putting all, see, this is a too complicated one. Putting one column and all the second box or third box, it's going to be complicated. So make it very simple. Just say order detail and then go through all the orders. Remember, if the count is 0 or greater than 0, means there are some orders are there. Now I'm going to use this for loop for each items in my orders. So I will take one item. So my order contains lot of items are there in my orders. Many things are being added. So I take one item at a time. I take one item at a time, and I started displaying it one after the other. So how to display one item in the thing. So first, remember this item contains two things. One is key, other one is the value. Remember, look at this one. What is every item? So let me quickly go here. The key is the text, value is the piece. So two things will be there. Again, to recall, key is the text, value will be that piece structure that you have. So let me get the value part here. Let me just go down to my place where I have stopped. So let me first get that pizza. So I'm going to say pizza p is equal to, remember I already have created a pizza p here. So I'm going to use the same variable p is equal to, so pizza is equal to, get the item, go to the item and get its value. Okay, the two things are there. This part is called as key, the other part is called as a value. So I'm getting the pizza from here, key is somewhere else. I'm going to add it to my form now. So how to add it to my form? So I'm going to go to my rich text box. So you know very well, add at the end, that means next line. So add in the next line. So how do I say that? Rich text box dot append. Append means add at the end. What are the things you need to append? You need to append a string, and what is, let me put a semicolon first. What are the things which are there? I will say, I will use the word plus here to say that next item plus next item plus next item plus next item. That is plus item. And what are the things that I am supposed to show? See, I am supposed to show this quantity, details, and the total amount. This I am supposed to show. So quantity, how can I get the quantity? Remember, my pizza has the quantity. So I'm going to say plus. I will go to my pizza and I'm going to ask it, give me the quantity. I got the quantity. Then I need the key. What is this key? This part. This part is this key. Where is this key? This key is there with the dictionary. So I'm going to ask the item. So let me put it here. I'm going to go to this item and I'm going to ask the item, show, give me the key. The key is this part. Hammer saw, like this. So I will like two hammer saw and total. So remember, I will not show it in this way. This is a very beautifully created bill. and don't expect me to create that kind of a thing, and don't you expect to do the same thing during the examination. Okay? So that's going to be really challenging. So I'm going to say equal to the total. So how I'm going to write is, like, for example, a two automatic hammer, okay, equal to some rupees 95 or 96. So for two atomic automatic saw, this is 95 rupees. Then for hammers, rupees 500, like this. And finally total. So a very simple way of showing it, not this kind of a beautiful looking thing. It may be difficult to get it. Now the only thing is, what they have done is they have used this rupee symbol. Okay. How do you get this rupee symbol? Now look at your keyboard. You notice that on the key number 4, that is numeric 1, 2, 3, 4. So key number 4, you see this dollar sign. So this, where is it? Come on, dollar. Okay. So you see this dollar sign. The same sign has to be used, but you need to get the rupees there. How do you get this? Okay. So for this, what you need to do is to hold Control Alt and press the number there. So what did I do? So I used PTRL plus ALT plus that number 4. So if you do this, you get that symbol. Okay. So if you are not getting that symbol, that means you have to upgrade your operating system. So simple as that. Okay. If you're not getting, just use a dollar. It's okay. Nobody will question about that. If people want to know, I don't see any external examiner asking, okay, why it is not in rupees and other. They are happy if you get it, that is enough. Okay. And this is the amount. And where is the amount? You know very well. My pizza has a quantity and amount. So my pizza has two things. One is this quantity, other one is this amount. I had the thing there. So I'm going to go to my pizza. P is my pizza, and I'm going to ask it, give me the amount. So this is that. Now I want the next item to come in the next line. So I'm going to use the /n. You're familiar with that one. Now that's not enough, because at the end here, where is that bill is gone? Here I have to show the grand total. So add. I need to add the total here. So I need to add these totals. This total I have to add it, and then finally I'll get the grand total. So I will go here, and I think I've already created a variable called as final total. I'm going to add the amount to this final total. So I'm going to say final total plus is equal to, I hope you know very well, final total is equal to final total plus the P amount. What is it? P amount. So what is the meaning of that? Is final total, this total is equal to this plus this, previous plus this, previous plus this, and finally you get the final total. So that is what I'm doing. Previous value, adding it. Okay, so this is done. Okay, finally, at the end, remember, so I will show one item. I will show one item, two item, three item, and finally I will show the final total. So I will put one dashed line there, and then I'm going to show the final total. So I'm going to say rich text box dot append the text, and I'm going to use dash few dashes. Enough, I suppose. That is enough. Okay. If it's not enough, so we will add extra. What is there to add extra? And finally, I'm going to show rich text box dot append the text. I will show the grand total, and how did they wrote the grand total. Let's look at how they have written the grand total. They have written the grand total here as total amount. If you see here, total amount and that. So they have done like that. So we will also do the same thing. We are going to say total amount and one colon and this one. And again, how do you get the rupees there? So Alt, Control, and number 4. This is followed by the final total. We are doing this final total here. So we will show the final total. So final total. So that final total. Oh my God, so much of team is required to get that thing working. So let us save this one and let us see whether we are getting an error or are we good at that. So we are getting one error, expected one semicolon. Where is the expectation? Where is the expectation is here. And one semicolon I missed it. Expectation is there. Okay, so I have the item working here. Okay, so I selected one small pizza with one extra cheese, and what is the amount? So if you look at the amount here, small pizza 100 rupees plus extra cheese 30 rupees. So if I add this one, 130 should come. So I add it, I get the one small sized pizza with 130 rupees. Now look at the code, how I have written here into the code there. Okay, so if you look at the code here, I will just stop it then. I will pause the video and come back because I'm running out of battery. So if you look at the code here, the order detail will come. It is order detail. This order details has come. This order details has come. Then I am printing the plus symbol here. Where is that plus symbol? You see this plus symbol is coming. Then quantity. Then that details equal to rupees 130. Okay. And finally, I have put the dash. There is only one item there. My throat is also giving up. Okay. So this one dash is there. Then you have this total amount and 30. Now, what if I selected one more and I select olives, medium olives? So, what is this medium and olives? So, for medium, 150 rupees, olives 30 rupees. So, 150 plus 30, that is 180 rupees. Add the total 180 rupees. 180 plus this is 130 plus 180, that is 310. This is the grand total. You see the second item, that is what I told you. Orders may contain so the multiple items. So every time new item is added, if you look at here, every time new item is created, you add it to the order detail. Okay. What if I add the same item? I go here, small, and I select extra cheese. It is already there. Small pizza with the extra cheese. It is already there. I change the quantity as 3. One already there. One small pizza is already there. I add 3 more. So totally this value must change to 4. And definitely the amount must also change. So I'm going to click on order now. So one small sized pizza with the extra cheese. Okay, my olives here. This olive, this is not the same as the previous. There is this cheese was there this time. I will not select olives. Okay, only these two, small and this. This is the one. This different. This is a different one because you know very well that is not the same as this one. Olives are there. Now this is same. So let me make it as 4 items there. Add it, and you notice this total is only changed. 5 is only changing. It is not adding as a new item, and my grand total is coming here. Okay. I will pause the video and continue after some time because I am running out of battery. I will recharge it and then let me pause it for a while. Let us look at the other part now and close this one. So I am able to add the order now. Let me go here and let us look at what is the next thing that they've asked us to. So there is something else that they said. So if you click on the second button, that is if you click on this second button here, that is another pizza variety. They said that we are supposed to clear the earlier sizes and all these details, okay, so that we can add the additional item. The next button which is there here is also clear, so which will clear everything. So I need the same functionality because when you clear everything, everything has to be reset. So I'm going to write one additional function, my own function, again to the program. So I will go here and see to it that you are outside the function. You can just click here, or you can just minimize this. Click on this minus sign here, and it's going to go out. And this is the outside of this function. You can just press enter. And then if you want, you can expand it again by clicking on the plus sign, and you are there at the outside of this function, but inside the class. Okay, so you must be inside the class. Let me create one additional function. I'm going to call this function as private, and the function will not return anything. And this function is used to clear all the selection, whatever selections you have made. For example, you have selected this small, whatever selections you have made, whatever quantity you have made, everything is reset back to the back. And I'm going to call this one as a clear all. So it will clear everything. Let me create that thing. What are the things that we are supposed to do? We have to reset the radio buttons. So I'm going to say radio button 1, and I'm going to say checked is equal to true. Checked, so checked, checked equal to true. Remember, it is a radio button, so you can only make one choice there. So if you make checked equal to true, that means it's going to come back to the normal. And I'm going to go to every check boxes, and I'm going to say checkbox dot checked is false, so that I'm resetting it now, everything back. I will not type again and again and again. So I'm going to just use Control C to copy it and press enter. Control V, 1, 2, 3, 4, I suppose. So four check boxes were there. So let me just clear four check boxes. So that's 2. This is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4 check boxes. So all the check boxes which were there, anything, any selection, if it is there in any of the check boxes, all of them are clear. I'm getting it back to the first one. I will reset the quantity to 1. So let me just set the numerical value over here, and I'm going to say numeric up and down dot value is equal to 1. Validate value is equal to 1. So this is going to be this part. And also, I'm going to reset this label also. This label, which is there, your last order, everything is there. So I'm going to even reset that part. So I'm going to say label, I think that will label 2 dot text is equal to blank. So that is also reset. So this is just a function that I'm using. Remember, because I need that functionality for both the buttons. For this button I need, as well as for this button also I need that. So let me handle this first button here. So what if you click on this button, you have to just call that thing. That's end of it. Okay. Let me go here to the form. Okay. Again, if you are close to this one, go to the Solution Explorer and double click on the form. It will come back. Now let me click on this another pizza variety. Let me click on this one, double click on that, another pizza variety, double click on that. And what is that I'm going to do? I'm going to first call this method, that is clear all. I'm going to call this clear all, this function, clear all function. And in the label, I'm going to just give one message to the user. So here in the label, I'm going to give a message to the user saying that make one choice. So if we go to the label here, label 2 dot text, I'm going to say label 2 dot text, and I'm going to say please select another variety. Why did I use that word another variety? Why not that something else? So the what is the semicolon went there? Okay. The reason is if you carefully read this question, okay, they say that finally add another variety of pizza. So that's why I am just telling them that please select another variety. So they said add another variety. That means select another variety. So what is going to happen? So I'm going to just run it. If I run it, let us see what is going to happen. So I have something that I've selected. Item number 2 I have added. I'm going to see 2 items are selected to something is selected. I'm going to say another pizza. So you notice that please select another variety, but your order is still there because one item you are adding the next item. Next time I'm going to select these 2. Okay. Add it. It is added. Okay. If I want to add another, I'm going to say please select another variety. You are back to the normal. You see that I change these values. See there. I add it. If I click on another, see this number was 3 here. 2 items were selected. It is in the large. Everything sets back. So you go up to the small. All these items are cleared. Quantity is made as 1. This is what is happening. And the last button, let us look at the last button. Last button will cancel the order. What is the meaning of saying cancel the order? Entire the order which was there, previous orders were there, everything has to be clear. So how can I do that thing? So let's go to the last button over here. So let's go to the last button. I'm going to go here, click on this clear, double click on it, and I'm supposed to do, first thing I will clear everything because I'm resetting it. Your cancelling means everything is reset. And I'm going to even that order which is there in the checkbox, the what is it, rich text box, that also I'm going to clear it. See what do I mean by saying that is when you cancel this order, suppose say you are adding some item here. Okay, some items are added, some items are added. So let's say some items are added. When you cancel order means that this thing has to be cancelled. This whole thing, whatever that is shown in the text box has to be cancelled, and all the orders has to be cancelled. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to the rich text box, and I'm going to say rich text box clear. So you're cancelling everything. I will go to this orders and I'm going to say clear. Okay, so by the way, what is this order? Order is that dictionary I just created. Let me just scroll and take you up. This is the dictionary that I just created. Right at the top, I created the dictionary called as orders, in which I'm storing all the items. I'm clearing that dictionary. Okay, so everything has been cleared, and I'm going to give a beautiful message to the user saying that their order has been cancelled. So I'm going to say dot text, and I'm going to say order cancelled. Just order cancelled. That's done. So let me put a semicolon here. Done. Let's run it and let's see how is it going to go. So you add a few items. You add a few items. Okay. Add few items. You add a few more items. Okay. You can say clear pizza and then do it. This is the other way of doing it. Okay. I say clear the history. So you clear everything. Order has been cancelled and you are back again. There is no order. Now, if I add only small pizza, I'm going to say small sized pizza with no topping. Okay. So when I click on this order, it didn't show me. Okay, I should have done this one. Okay. There is one small bug there. That is, if I clear everything, you see that if I don't make any choice, if I make choice, it will go. Now, if I clear it, you see there, if I add it, it is going to add it, but it is not showing order cancelled, not changing that thing. So when it is, what to say, loading, let me show something there. So when the form is getting loaded, so let's look at this function. Where is this? The stories are there. Where are these? My checkboxes and ready buttons are there. This is there now. Show labels is there. So the show labels has to be uh, shown there. So whichever labels are there, so when the value is changed, you have to show the labels. Let me just call that thing there. So when you click on this one and you load it, the last thing I have to do is if I just call this order cancelled, what will happen is if the order is cancelled, logically it is correct. When you cancel the order, so if you see here, you run this one, you make some choice here and then it should be shown there. So when you run it for the first time, to show it, let me just show you again. I don't know whether you are getting it or not. It just shows the label to that I will clear it, no problem. It must show that what item is getting shown. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I will first go here. First thing first, I will clear this label. I will go to the properties of this label. I've selected this label. Right click, go to the properties. And I will remove that label from there so that it won't show up there. So click and it is gone. Next one is I will go to the form load event here, and in the form load event, form load, where is it gone? is this form. If you see, the easiest way is just to double click anywhere in the form, just to double click. Anywhere in the form, just double click. It is going to go to the form load event. And I'm going to say show label. Show SHOW label. This method, show label method, so that when I run it for the first time, it actually shows that label to me. That is there. By default, it is there. You add the order, and when you clear it, you say order cancelled. Okay, but if you just click on the order, what it must do is it must show the label, not showing that label to me. So what I can do is I will say, instead of saying that order cancelled, I'll just make one small change there. Order cancelled. Of saying at the end order cancelled, I will remove this one. If you want, you keep it. I will just make it as a remark. I'm going to say show label here. Reason is otherwise it just becomes order cancel, and you'll be able to add some item, and then it just this order cancel. Just logically it is a proper, but not showing it properly. So you add an item, then when I clear it, order has been cancelled, and you have your order, one item is already selected. Now if you add it, it is going. Now what I can do is instead of showing it here, this label, I can show it down at this point. So I'm going to do the same thing, but slightly in a different way. I will not show it on the label. I will go to my rich text box dot text. I will show it in the rich text box. I think then there is no problem. Let's give it a try. And okay, add an item, and you add an item. If you want, you add two more items, and you say clear. Your order is there, but previous order has been cancelled. Okay, now it is proper. Your order, if you want, you can put the order now. That's it. You cancel it. Your order has been cancelled. If you want, you put one more item there. If you want to clear everything, and you want to put it, you put the item there. So now I think now it is proper. Logically also proper. That's all. I don't get scared that it is taking longer time. I have explained it by giving a lot of example and other things. That's why the length of the video is larger, but you will be able to do this program even during the examination. Directly, if you try it 2 to 3 times at home before the examination, and definitely do it carefully during the practical, you will be able to complete this exercise in the due time. Thank you for your interest, and we will meet again in the other exercises. Thank you.